What's going on, guys and girls? It's Lee Martin from Sportsbook Review. Do you want to bet on the Ultimate Fighting Championship or maybe similar mixed martial arts organizations to the UFC, such as Bellator or InvictaFC? Have no fear, your girl is here. Stay tuned and let me guide you on how to bet the UFC. But just before we get into it, go ahead, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and receive all updates regarding all your sports betting needs. The intense world of mixed martial arts has reached new heights of popularity in recent years, with the likes of McGregor and Khabib leading the forefront of the UFC's combat sports reputation war in Las Vegas. The sports betting market has also gained some serious interest. It's the fastest growing sport on the planet, and in years to come, sporting juggernauts such as the NHL, NBA, and NFL could all be bowing down to the power of the UFC and mixed martial arts in general. Quite often, the UFC will showcase anywhere from 10 to 14 fights during each event they hold. Once you've decided on whom to bet on and you've finished your fighter research, the first thing on your mind should be which sportsbook suits me best. Shopping for your odds is imperative and will affect your bankroll long term if you settle for less than the best. The number of sportsbooks available can sometimes be overwhelming. With great bonuses and odds available, you can easily overlook some of the safest and most trustworthy bookmakers. If you need help finding the right sportsbook to cater to your needs, then we have a useful tool for you provided in the description box below. When you find a sportsbook that best fits you, then you just need to sign up and check out all the odds provided. Having all the odds on one page for each UFC event saves you the time of hunting for the best odds manually. And we all know line shopping can consume valuable hours, so be sure to use an odds comparison site. Just like any other sport, there are so many different ways to approach betting on the UFC or MMA. However, in my opinion, betting on the UFC is far more fun and intricate. The different ways to approach betting on the UFC are moneyline betting, method of victory, round totals, parlays, and proposition betting. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then good. You're watching the correct video. So let's get started. Perhaps the most simplistic method of placing a bet on a UFC fight and in sports in general would be match betting, or better known as betting the money line. Simply put, all you have to do is pick either fighter A or fighter B. This method is obviously the most common, but you'll often find punters end their run in frustration due to tailing the heavily juiced favorites. These losses tend to steer punters towards the parlay or prop bet markets in search for juicier payouts with less at stake. Betting the money line is still today the most popular betting method across all sports, with profits ranging from 40% to 60% of your initial stake on the favorite side. The UFC has been putting on some of the most entertaining fights for 25 plus years, which in retrospect makes them a baby in comparison to its competitors. And there's nothing a fight fan loves more than a UFC knockout or technical knockout victory to end the fight. Also known as a prop bet, in the method of victory market, the betting site will provide a range of odds for the specific outcome of the fight. For example, knockout, submission, or by decision. Sometimes a fighter's path to victory can be so lopsided that if you believe he's going to win, it's worth raising your odds by adding the method. When betting on the UFC with a method of victory, please bear in mind, this method will remove the 50-50 chances of straight betting a fighter to win, as there are now 3 available outcomes you'll be betting up against. The over-under bets are another common sports market often utilized by bettors. The bookmaker will provide a round total, and you have the choice of predicting the fight to survive over the total time or under. The majority of fights are 3 5-minute rounds, with the exception of 5-round championship fights. More often than not, the bookmaker will offer the choice of over or under 2.5 rounds on a 3-round fight. The odds will be dependent on each fighter's record, longevity, and finish history. If you placed a bet on the contest to go over 2.5 rounds, you would need both fighters to avoid a knockout, submission, or disqualification within 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So as long as your fighter reaches the second half of the 3rd round, your bet will be successful. The UFC round betting market is basically what it says on the tin. You bet on which round you think the fight would end. Odds on round betting are more lucrative and tempting, as predicting the round a fight will end in also includes the chances that the bout won't end at all. One way to extend your odds even higher is to choose the fighter and round combination for your wager. Betting on UFC can become a frustration when a fight card is stacked with heavily juiced favorites. This is when parlay betting can become a valuable tool to use. A parlay is a series of moneyline bets you have chosen being risked under the same stake, with a lower probability but a higher return. There's no limit as to how many fighters you can add to your slip. Now and then a fight card will provide some very tempting fighters to put your money behind, but their odds are often heavily swayed when you combine these odds. With a similar fight situation, you can combine your high odds selections to receive a better payout. Parlay betting is a fun method, but also a dangerous one, as your probability is dramatically decreased with each selection you add to the parlay. I advise to master your straight bets before delving into parlays, and bet them according to your bankroll's profit. The UFC prop betting market focuses on the finer details of the contest you're betting on. We've already discussed two prop betting markets in method of victory and round betting, but other prop bets include points handicap, fight to go the distance, and fight of the night awards. Depending on which betting method you approach will depend on how much your stake varies, but it is important to always remain disciplined. It's always important to always remain calm, and patience will only lead to chasing bets and silly mistakes. If you choose one of these methods to bet on your favorite fighter and then realize, maybe I did choose the wrong fighter, then no need to panic, as most sports books provide a live betting option. Basically what that means is you can place a bet at any time during a fight. Of course though, only on the live odds your book is providing. Live betting is a nice method to use because you are not restricted to only the pre-fight odds that were posted. Throughout each match, the lines will move based on the current scorecard of each fighter from round to round. If you are nervous about betting on a specific fight, then definitely wait until the fight commences to decide if it's worth the risk and money. If it's 100% worth it, then go get on the action through the live betting feature. Remember, whichever approach you take to bet on the UFC, make sure it fits you and your betting needs. Head on over to sportsbookreview.com and check out all the different pages SBR has to offer to make sure you make the best bets on UFC, as well as any other sport you might be interested in. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel to receive all updates regarding new content and your sports betting needs. Like always, thank you guys for watching. I'm Lee Martin and I wish you the best of luck on your UFC betting journey.